What no one talks about friendships in old age. Have you ever noticed that your priorities start to shift as you get older? Things that were once considered essential, like maintaining a wide circle of friends, may no longer be as important as they once were. And the truth is, you really don't need friends after age 70. This might sound surprising at first, but when you look closer, you'll understand why focusing on your own happiness might be one of the best decisions you'll ever make. In this video, we'll explore 6 reasons why friendships aren't as necessary as they used to be when you turn 70. We'll explore how your mindset, personal freedom, and even your health can improve when you stop worrying about maintaining friendships that are no longer relevant. This isn't about loneliness, but about living a life your own way. Break free from the expectations and unnecessary obligations that come with social relationships. Watch until the end of the video, because you'll see that letting go of the pressure to maintain friendships not only brings freedom, but can also change how you see yourself and enjoy the best years of your life. Now let's begin. First, you no longer need to prove yourself to anyone. One of the biggest reasons you don't need friends after age 70 is that you've passed a stage of life where social validation was crucial. Remember your younger years? Friendships often revolved around proving yourself, fitting in, or saving face, whether it was impressing colleagues, maintaining social connections, or just being able to attend gatherings. There was always an underlying pressure to be seen and accepted, but now, you're at a stage where you don't need to do that anymore. You've built your legacy, and other people's opinions don't matter as much as they used to. At this age, you've experienced enough to understand that true fulfillment doesn't come from external approval, but from within. There's no need to pursue friendships for status, fame, or social standing. You are who you are, and you don't need anyone else's validation to affirm it. Many young people spend time worrying about how they are perceived, whether they are liked, admired, or respected. But when you reach 70, you realize that none of those define your value. You define your value. Value is what matters, and you don't need a group of people around you to reinforce it. And that's the key. When you stop seeking validation from others, you begin to realize how much energy you've wasted on meaningless friendships. Add real value to your life. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone anymore. You don't need to chase other people's expectations. The only person you need to be accountable to is yourself. Secondly, peace becomes more valuable than social interaction. As you get older, something changes. You begin to feel that peace is far more valuable than social interaction. When you're young, being around people might seem necessary. The noise, the gatherings, the conversations, it's all part of a good life. But as time goes on, you begin to appreciate silence. And not just any silence. It's the stillness that allows you to truly relax, escaping from obligations, unnecessary troubles, and social fatigue. Many friendships, even good ones, come with a certain degree of responsibility. There are calls to answer, invitations to accept, and unspoken expectations to maintain contact. Friendship isn't bad, it's just that at some point, it can cost more effort than it's worth. The truth is, you don't need to spend time trying to keep up with others. You don't have to be obligated to always be available, just because someone expects you to be. You've reached a stage in life where time is your own, and you have the right to decide how to use it. You no longer have to fill your time with activities or constant conversation. Just to feel connected, you choose peace over pressure, stillness over chaos. So, if you've ever felt guilty for withdrawing from social obligations, remind yourself of this. You're not withdrawing from life. You're embracing comfort. Comfort comes from within. Comfort doesn't depend on anyone else. Third, fewer friends mean less disappointment. One of life's most bitter lessons is realizing that not everyone you call a friend is truly sincere. Over the years, you may have experienced this. People who were once close drift apart. Friends become distant when you need them most. Relationships turn out to be one-sided. And when you're 70, you begin to understand that fewer friends don't just mean fewer social obligations. They also mean less disappointment. Friendships, no matter how close, come with expectations. Expectations of being checked in, of being readily available to support and help. But what happens when those expectations aren't met? Disappointment strikes. You call someone, but they don't call back. You try, but they don't respond. You find yourself giving more than you receive. And at this stage of life, do you really need that kind of stress? The answer is no. Importantly, when you let go of the idea that you need a large group of friends, you also let go of the frustration that comes from unmet expectations. You no longer have to feel annoyed when someone doesn't reach out. You no longer have to feel disappointed when a friendship fades. Instead, you can focus on the most important person in your life. That is yourself. That doesn't mean you have to isolate yourself. It simply means you're choosing quality over quantity. Instead of maintaining a long list of acquaintances, you prioritize the relationships that truly matter. Relationships that bring you joy and don't require effort to maintain. Whether it's family, your partner, or even just a connection with yourself. Those are the relationships that truly matter. Therefore, if you've ever felt that friendship brings more stress than joy, remind yourself that taking a step back is normal. Choosing simplicity over complexity, peace over disappointment, is also normal. You don't need a long list of friends to feel fulfilled. You just need to let go of those who were never truly there for you in the first place. Fourth, your time becomes more precious as you get older. You begin to realize that time is your most valuable resource. When you're young, you may feel like you always have plenty of time to spend with friends, to invest in social relationships, to worry about the people in your life. But when you reach 70, your perspective changes. You begin to see that every hour, every day, every moment is precious. And when you understand the true value of the time you have left, you will be more selective in how you use it, so that you can bring more joy. Maintaining relationships requires time and effort, and while some relationships are worth maintaining, many others are simply habits we carry over from past relationships. Relationships we hold onto out of obligation, rather than for genuine joy. At this stage of life, you have the right to ask yourself, is this how I want to use my time? Does this friendship make me happier, or is it just a social connection? When you let go of unnecessary friendships, you will gain something far more valuable, time for yourself, time to do the things you love, time to enjoy life, in your own way, time to focus on your own happiness, instead of trying to meet the needs of others. Time is yours. You have the right to use it however you want. If you're still watching and find these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. Your support will help us continue creating great content to inspire you and the community. Let's continue together. Fifth, true friendship comes from within. One of the misconceptions is that you need a large circle of friends to be happy as you get older. But the truth is, the most important friendship you can have is the one you build with yourself. By the time you turn 70, you've spent decades learning, growing, and developing. You understand yourself better than anyone else. And with that self-awareness, you realize something wonderful. Just yourself is enough for most of your life. We're taught to seek friendships outside. That social interaction is the key to happiness. That loneliness is scary, but there's a difference between being alone and feeling lonely. Some of the happiest people in old age are those who have embraced loneliness. It's not about isolation, but about an opportunity to explore yourself, reflect, and find peace. True friendship isn't about how many people you have around you. It's about how comfortable you feel with yourself. When you stop relying on others for happiness, validation, or conversation, you unlock a level of freedom that most people never experience. You no longer need external distractions to fill your time. You become your own source of joy, wisdom, and fulfillment. When you truly enjoy solitude, you naturally attract relationships, instead of pursuing friendships out of loneliness. You'll find the right people naturally come into your life, people who respect your personal space, understand your value, and bring peace instead of pressure. So, if you've ever worried about letting go of relationships that aren't truly necessary, try it now. The feeling of loneliness can come over you, making you feel lost. But remember, the best friend you can have is yourself. And when you embrace that, you'll realize that you were never truly alone. Sixth, letting go opens the door to a more fulfilling life. One of the most important things you can do after age 70 is to let go. Let go of the pressure to maintain friendships that aren't built on sincerity. Let go of the idea that your social circle defines your worth. Let go of the belief that living alone means loneliness. The moment you let go of these expectations, you'll open the door to a simpler, freer, and much more fulfilling life. Many people cling to friendships out of habit, even when those relationships no longer hold any value for their lives. They attend gatherings they dislike, answer the phone out of obligation, and save face, simply because that's what they've always done. But what happens if you don't do any of that? What happens if you allow yourself to let go of friendships that you feel like work? Instead, focus on the things that truly bring you happiness? Letting go doesn't mean shutting yourself off from the world. It means creating space for what truly brings you fulfillment. It means realizing that your happiness isn't tied to the number of people around you. It's about how well you fit into the life you truly want. And this is what happens when you embrace this mindset. You stop worrying about the people in your life. You start focusing on what brings you joy. You start appreciating the little things. Waking up each quiet morning and enjoying your hobbies without distractions. You feel at peace with your own thoughts. You realize that fulfillment doesn't come from maintaining friendships out of obligation, but from living naturally and meaningfully for yourself. So, if you've ever felt you should do more to maintain friendships, ask yourself, does that truly make you happier? Or are you just holding on out of habit? Because once you allow yourself to let go, you'll find life becomes simpler, lighter, and more fulfilling in ways you never expected. Before we end this video, take a moment to reflect on what we've discussed. The idea that you don't need friends after age 70 isn't about isolation, but about freedom, about letting go of unnecessary obligations, about choosing peace over pressure and embracing the life you truly desire. By now, you've probably seen that distancing yourself from unsuitable friendships can actually bring more joy, time, and fulfillment than you imagined. What stood out most to you? Which of these reasons impressed you the most? Perhaps you've started letting go of friendships that you felt were more of a burden than a source of joy? Perhaps you've realized how much you enjoy being alone when you give yourself the chance? Or perhaps this video gave you a new perspective on why prioritizing yourself is the right thing to do. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share. Your support will help us continue creating great content to inspire you and the community. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next videos.